The new ICE Monitor displays more information about the users. You can find information regarding the user's profile, such as name, role, and connection address. All information is now grouped together. The first row in each grid displays the group names. You can collapse and expand groups to show and hide the set of columns. There are also two tabs on the left. The Columns tab allows you to configure the columns that are displayed on the grid. And as you can see, there's a lot of information that is available for your users. Some recommended columns to have displayed on a user's grid include name, role, state, total not ready time, average wrap-up time, and total contacts handled. The Filters tab allows you to filter the rows that are displayed. For example, filters can be used to hide logged off users. The previous version of ICE Monitor showed thresholds in horizontal and vertical bars. In this version, thresholds are displayed in the ID background color. By default, green means no threshold has been met, orange represents a warning threshold, and red represents a critical threshold. If your contact center has many users, pagination is also available to display the users across multiple pages. For those who wish to display all users on a single page that you can scroll through, pagination can also be turned off in the Actions menu. The Actions menu can be accessed by moving your cursor to the right corner of any column. Click the hamburger button to open the menu. Starting from the top, we can pin a column to the left or the right side of the grid. This is helpful if you have a lot of information on the grids and find yourself using the scroll bar often. These options allow you to adjust the column widths. By selecting Size Columns to Fit, all of the columns will be compressed to fit into the grid without a scroll bar. These options allow you to expand and collapse the column groups in the first row, clear filters that are currently set up using the Filters tab, and save, restore, and reset as discussed in a previous slide. The pagination option is used to adjust the number of rows that are displayed. By default, Auto is selected to display the number of rows that will fit on the page without having to use a scroll bar. Changing the size or resolution of your browser window will change the number of rows that are displayed on the grid. The last two options on the list will allow you to show and hide the Columns and Filters tab. You can either display these tabs on the left or on the right side of the grid. The information found in the detail grid is very similar to the previous versions. The main difference is that the information is now displayed in a table form. The Information tab provides all data available for a selected user, including profile information and all the statistics. The Contacts tab shows a list of all the contacts handled by this user today. The Activities tab shows a list of all the user's activities from today. And the Queues and Teams tabs show queue and team assignments for the selected user. You can also change the detail grid by selecting another user in the main grid. The Columns and Filters tab is also available on the left side and can be used to configure the information seen in the detail grid. And finally, the feature that everyone has been waiting for, the button that lets you close the detail grid. This is something that was not available in the previous versions, but was desired by many. As mentioned earlier, each grid has its own set of display options. You can change the orientation from displaying the grids vertically to horizontally. To save, restore, and reset options will allow you to create and manage layouts for the selected grid. These layouts can be private or shared with other ICE users. The multi-contact handling feature allows users to handle more than one contact at the same time. Users can handle a call at the same time as handling a few emails or instant messages. Part of the user's grid includes new statistics related to multi-contact handling. The highlighted statistics can be found on the user's grid. They allow you to see how many contacts the selected user is actively handling. Note, the maximum number of concurrent emails and IMs can be set in the user's profile within ICE Administrator. A helpful tip, add these statistics to the user's grid so that you can monitor these stats regularly. You can do this by using the Columns tab. If you are interested in specifically how many calls or how many IMs the user has handled today, those statistics are also available. The right-click menu is very similar to the previous versions. Right-clicking on a user who is logged on opens the following menu. You can still message users, toggle the user state, and even do silent monitoring. And as a reminder, the right-click options available for a user's grid will depend on your permission levels as well as your state and the selected user state.